Hey everyone, it's the one and only magnificent bird, Beak, speaking to you today. And in today's video, I'm back at it with some more raiding with me. Yes, I will be doing some raids just to give you guys some raids and kind of let you know what I'm gonna be doing for the rest of this week as far as my uploading schedule, which I do have my gold rush pulls for gold mythic Ella or Elaine, however you want to say her name. I do have them. I have that video coming up soon ish, and then I also have this one, raiding with me. I'm not sure which one will get released first, but one of the two will get released within the week. And I'm also discussing whether or not I want to do Blitz War specifically this weekend, because this weekend is my birthday and I might not worry about it. And I might just take the weekend off completely and be back next week. But before we get started, I hope all of you are doing good and staying safe out there, and hopefully all of you are staying cool. And if you like the video, hit that like button and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And feel free to leave a comment down below if you would like to, and share this video if you want to. If you do any of those four things, that would be very much appreciated by me. And I'm doing pretty good, and I'm staying safe, and I'm also staying cool. And let's not waste any more time. Let's get to raiding with me, shall we? So, yeah, like I just discussed, I have this video, raiding with me, and then I also have the Gold Rush pulls for Gold Mythic Ella or Elaine. I still don't know how to... You know what? It doesn't matter. She might be a so-so tune anyway, so like, I don't know. But anyway, Gold Mythic Ella, that's just what I'm gonna call her. But y'all know who I'm talking about. I got that video coming, and I got this one coming, but I don't know which one's going to be uploaded first. It's a have to wait and see type of situation. I might be talking about this after the fact of the Gold Rush pulls or before. Not entirely sure, but whatever comes out first is what's going to come out. And also I got coming up on Friday, I do have Batman Arkham Knight Part 7 of my current playthrough also coming Friday. And then after Friday, like I said, this weekend, specifically Sunday, is my birthday. So normally I would get a Blitz War video out, but I don't know. I think I might just pass it this weekend. That way I don't have to worry about uploading nothing on the weekend. And I could just do my Legends of the Arena pull maybe Monday. I could film that I could record that this weekend. But I might not upload that until Monday at the earliest. So that one will be a little late. Or I could end up uploading that Sunday, as it will only be a pull video. I don't know. I'll see. So, other than raiding with me, my Gold Rush pulls, Batman Arkham Knight Part 7, and the Legends of the Arena pulls, I don't really have anything else planned for the rest of this week. Like I said, I normally would do a Blitz War, but I just don't feel like putting in the commitment for this weekend, just because I want to relax you know, I don't have to do a war video every single time one shows up. I could, but I just don't want to. If I upload anything this weekend, it's definitely going to be the pools for the Legends of the Arena Will, which I said I was going to plan on doing that anyway. So, there you go. That's what I got planned for the week, for the rest of the week. And, I mean, I don't know if any other characters are coming out this week. If they are, depends on when they come out. I might just skip them entirely. Because like I said, it's my birthday this weekend. And I just want to have a light uploading schedule specifically for the weekend. Now, let's talk about AEW. Yeah, we got a couple things to talk about with that. So, as I predicted and got right with the third time of who was going to face Jeff Jarrett, Hangman Adam Page, he returned and he pretty much brutalized Jeff Jarrett and beat him to advance to face Jay White, I believe it was. Which, to no surprise, Adam Page, he ended up beating Jay White, and he ended up brutalizing Jay White as well. At one point, I think it might have been after the match, Adam Page actually proceeded to wrap a belt around Jay White's neck, and he ended up choking him, which is like, this new attitude, well, I shouldn't say new attitude, but more aggressive attitude of Adam Page. He's definitely a heel, without a doubt, because he was questioned about why he was so aggressive toward Jeff Jarrett in the Owen Hart tournament match, and it comes down to that there is a wrong that he wants to right, and that this man, he's talking about Swerve Strickland, he's talking about, I tried to right this wrong that I wasn't able to do, stopping Swerve Strickland from winning the world title, and he's like, now I have another chance to right this wrong, and I'm going to burn that man's world down. Referring to Swerve Strickland. He didn't say Swerve Strickland by name, but there's really no one else he could be talking about. So, tonight, I haven't caught up with Dynamite, but tonight is going to be the finals for the men's Owen Hart tournament between Bryan Danielson and Hangman Adam Page. Now, who do I think is going to win this one? If you were to ask me, I could possibly see Bryan Danielson maybe having a chance to possibly win it. That way, Bryan Danielson gets a world title match against Swerve Strickland at All In. But, however, my gut is telling me to go with Hangman Adam Page. So I think Adam Page is going to win this match and win the tournament. That way Swerve Strickland and Adam Page can pick up their rivalry once again. But this time it would be for the AEW World Championship. That's just a prediction, but although they could give it to Bryan Danielson, possibly, but I'm not saying it's impossible, but I have a stronger feeling in my gut that I think Hangman Adam Page is probably going to win the tournament. And probably viciously beat up Bryan Danielson. That way he can play more into and tap more into that heel persona. Now, for the women's side, we'll have Willow Nightingale versus Mariah May And on paper, Willow Nightingale is the bigger of the two, and I don't mean that as an insult whatsoever, but anyway, Willow Nightingale is the bigger of the two, and it would seem like Willow Nightingale would be able to beat Mariah May, right? I feel really confident in saying that Mariah May is going to actually end up beating Willow Nightingale to go on to face Timeless Toni Storm for the AEW Women's World Championship. Toni Storm versus Mariah May, there's story there for Mariah May to turn her back on Toni Storm in order to try to win the world title for herself, the women's world title for herself. This is a prediction. I don't know. I'm not caught up, but I don't think Mariah May is going to win all by herself. I think Chris Statlander is going to end up costing Willow Nightingale that match against Mariah May. Willow Nightingale is, I truly do believe that Willow Nightingale is going to have something to do at All In, but it's not going to be for the AEW Women's World Championship. If you think by a long shot that Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander's rivalry is over, you got another thing coming. So, no, Willow Nightingale is not winning. No, she's still got unfinished business with Chris Statlander. And I do believe Chris Statlander is going to, it's going to come down to a crucial moment in the match, and all of a sudden, Chris Statlander is going to appear from nowhere, and she's going to cost Willow Nightingale the match. Not to help Mariah May necessarily, but to ensure that Willow Nightingale doesn't get another title shot. Because, Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander had a match in the Women's Owen Hart tournament, which obviously Willow Nightingale, she ended up beating Chris Statlander like I had predicted, but it's not like, I will say Willow Nightingale, she got more lucky how that match ended. Stokely, he was distracting the referee. Well, no, he was distracting the referee. Then Stokely, he left one side of the outside of the ring, but Chris Statlander, she was distracting the referee long enough for Stokely to go to one corner, and he put a chain near one of the ring posts, and Chris Statlander saw this, so she grabs it, and while she grabs it, Stokely is trying to distract Willow Nightingale, and Chris Statlander, she's wrapping the chain around her fist, and she goes to try to punch Willow Nightingale, but Willow Nightingale moves out the way. She almost hits Stokely, but Willow, she ends up rolling up Chris Statlander for the 1-2-3. So there you go. Willow Nightingale got lucky to take advantage of that screw up by them to end up beating Chris Statlander. That's why I believe that, Willow Nightingale is not winning. Chris Statlander is still out there lurking, still wanting revenge. And I will say, Willow Nightingale, how her gimmick comes across where she's always smiling and happy and all that stuff. Before their match started last Wednesday, she, Chris Statlander came out there first, then Willow Nightingale came out second, and Chris Statlander was running toward Willow Nightingale, but she lost all that smile, and she was running toward Chris Statlander. Willow Nightingale was running toward Chris Statlander, like, with this serious look on her face, like, look, BICTH, I want to rip your effing head off. And I was like, okay, that's the Willow I want to see. Instead of you smiling all of the time like you are, right now it's not time for all smiles, okay? Your former best friend stabbed you in the back, and that's exactly what I wanted to see, and it looked like she definitely there at the beginning there wanted to rip her head off, and they had a pretty decent match. The ending, whatever, but, you know, she got more lucky than anything. But, yeah, I think the two winners of the Owen Hart tournament finals matches are going to be Hangman Adam Page and Mariah May. There's more story with those two winners that are already inserted. It would make much more sense for those two to win. I could see maybe Bryan Danielson maybe winning, but I give 0% chance that Willow Nightingale wins. No way. She's got unfinished business with Chris Statlander first. I'm sure they'll have something to do at All In August. So, and then let's, what else do I want to talk about? Oh yeah, MJF. Do I want to talk about MJF? Yeah, let's talk about MJF. Oh boy. So MJF, he has turned heel once again. So last week the main event was for the AEW International Championship between Daniel Garcia and Will Ospreay. We get to the end of the match. You know, MJF is out there with Daniel Garcia, and MJF, he has this ring. It's like, I forget the name of it, but he has this ring. He takes it off his finger. He wants to give it to Daniel Garcia, telling him, look, you need to use this ring. If you're going to beat Will Ospreay, you need to use this ring. He takes it for a second. He looks at it, but then he shakes his head no and puts it back in MJF's head, and he's like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not resorting to that to try to beat Will Ospreay. And then like MJF's like, you know what, my bad. You're right. It's my bad. But that distraction is what cost Daniel Garcia the match, and Will Ospreay, he ends up beating Daniel Garcia to retain the International Championship. And after the match, Will Ospreay, he grabs his title and he goes over to Daniel Garcia, who's obviously upset that he couldn't get the job done. And he tells Daniel Garcia that, you know, you were a hell of a competitor, you did your best, and that was pretty much all to that. So Will Ospreay, he leaves. Then MJF, he goes in the ring. This is where the heel turn takes place. Will then already left at this point. MJF, he goes in the ring and he's like repeating, you know what, it was my fault that you lost, it was my bad. And then like he's like telling him something, and then next thing you know, MJF kicks Daniel Garcia in the family jewels, and then he proceeds to put the ring back on his finger, and I mean, he absolutely beats the holy hell out of Daniel Garcia to the point, you know, with the ring on his finger, to the point where he's busted open and bloodied. And then you have, I can't remember the guy's name, but he was a friend. He is a friend to Daniel Garcia. But anyway, Daniel Garcia's friend, he comes out to try to stop MJF, but MJF punches him one good time, boom, with that hand with the, the ring on his finger, and that busts that guy open, and that's the end of him, and he just continues to proceed to just beating down Daniel Garcia once again. And then it ends, you have the officials come out, the referees to come out to try to stop him, but it pretty much ends. He picks up MJF picks up Daniel Garcia. He proceeds to climb up to the second rope, and he hits a tombstone pile driver on Daniel Garcia from the second rope, and that's how that ends. Now, the reason for MJF's heel turn, he explains, he comes out on Collision, I believe it was. He comes back out and he's going with his original heel gimmick where he's wearing the fancy suits, and oh boy, he was turning up the heel because he says, I think they was in, I can't remember if it was Nashville or Memphis, Tennessee, but it was definitely Tennessee by the things he was saying to the crowd. He says, to start off with, he's like, I know all of you in the building are inbred, but I need all of you to sit down and shut your mouths. And I was like, yep, yeah, classic heel MJF is definitely back saying crap like that. So he pretty much goes on to say why he turned heel, that Daniel Garcia, it wasn't nothing personal between me and you, but you wanting a match against me at All In was like one of those kids from the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And then he goes on to say that, you know, I opened up to all of you people. I was vulnerable to all of you people. But then he feels like once MJF lost the world title to Samoa Joe, I think there were some people chanting, saying, thank you, Joe, back. It might have been soon after that title loss happened, back in December. So that was a reason. And then he feels like the fans turned on him. And then another reason is, he's like, you know, y'all dropped me. He's pretty much saying, y'all dropped me like a bad habit for people like Swerve Strickland, of all people, and especially that no talentless hack Will Ospreay. So it seems like they're planning something between Will Ospreay and MJF down the road, which honestly I don't mind. That is actually a better alternative compared to MJF versus Daniel Garcia. I mean, no disrespect to Daniel Garcia whatsoever, but he wouldn't have been able to hang in there with MJF. I'm just being honest about that. As to when this match is going to happen between MJF and Will Ospreay, I would say All In, but I don't know, maybe they do it sooner. I'm not really sure. So yeah, we have heel MJF back, and I gotta wonder if that was their original intent with turning MJF heel so soon. Honestly, I don't think it was. I think what their original plans were, and they got screwed up. I think their original plans had involved, I mean, I don't know this for sure, but it definitely seems like they changed plans with MJF because of Adam Cole not being able to be back. Because you remember, Adam Cole, he turned heel on MJF back in December, and I think the original plan, I think the original plan was for a heel Adam Cole and a face MJF. I think they were going to pick back up with their rivalry probably this summer, but it seems like Adam Cole is a lot more seriously injured still. So, and they probably just didn't want to wait no longer because they dragged it out as long as they possibly could. they possibly dragged it out for far too long, and they just couldn't wait. So they had to change up plans. So it'll be interesting to see if MJF is the one. You know, the question is he interested in going after the International Championship? He could be. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. But, oh yeah, and regarding, you know what? I'm going to give a prediction regarding their Blood and Guts match and what that is for people wondering. You know how WWE has the War Games match where it's 2 steel cages side by side in 2 rings? It's like that, but AEW, in my opinion, has the superior version because it's much bigger. But anyway, so it's going to be Team Elite versus Team AEW. And so far, we know that the participants are going to be Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the Young Bucks, who are also the tag team champions, the TNT champion Jack Perry, and the AEW Continental champion Okada. And it's going to be 5-on-5, so the Elite is missing another member. And my prediction as to who that 5th member is going to be, I think it's going to be Hangman Adam Page. Although, last weekend there was a little altercation between Adam Page and the Young Bucks. I think Adam Page is going to... I think he's going to end up joining the Elite, especially if Swerve Strickland joins Team AEW, because I don't think Adam Page would want to team up with Swerve Strickland. No, I don't think there's no way they would get along. So Adam Page, I think, would definitely team with the Elite if it's revealed that Swerve Strickland is a part of Team AEW. Now, as far as Team AEW, the first confirmed member that we have is the Ring of Honor World Champion Mark Briscoe out of 5. That's what we know so far. Now, I think the next 3 spots might be kind of easy to fill just based on predictions and stuff that's going on. I think the next 2 spots might be filled out by the Acclaimed, which is Max Caster and Anthony Bowen. And I think the 4th member very likely could be AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland. Why I say Swerve Strickland is the Young Bucks, and more importantly the Elite, they actually asked Swerve Strickland if he would, the Elite asked Swerve Strickland if he would join Team Elite in Blood and Guts, and he declined. So yeah, I see him joining Team AEW, Swerve Strickland that is. And for the 5th member of Team AEW, honestly, I don't have a real good idea as to who it could be. I could see it being one of 3 men, and I could totally be wrong on all 3 of them. So, option number 1, you could have Bryan Danielson maybe be that 5th member, because he hates what the Elite is doing right now, just a hostile takeover, right? And he just, he loves AEW. That could be a reason, because he feuded with the Elite back in the Anarchy and the Arena match. So it could be Bryan Danielson. Another possible candidate could be Darby Allin. Although, here's the thing about Darby Allin. I don't know if he's hurt or how injured he is, but they could be saving his return for Blood and Guts, possibly. I don't know. And then here's another possible third option. Kenny Omega. Now, I am aware that Kenny Omega, he had a serious issue going on. I forget the name of it, but he had a serious issue. He had a serious issue going on where he had to, he came out a couple of months ago, or about 2 months ago, and he had said that the doctors told him that, if I take another fatal hit to the stomach area, that I could die, Which, I mean, that's something that's a story device that's used throughout all of wrestling, no matter the promotion. But that particular night, the Elite beat the hell out of Kenny Omega because, the Young Bucks had kicked Kenny Omega and Adam Page out of the Elite, but they had beaten the heck out of Kenny Omega that night, and they even stretchered him out. Kenny Omega, that is. But could Kenny Omega be good enough to compete in Blood and Guts? I mean, it could be possible. It would make sense, but I don't know if he's good to go. So I think the fifth member of the Elite will be Hangman Adam Page, and I think Team AEW along with Mark Briscoe. The other spots are going to be filled by the Acclaimed Max Caster and Anthony Bowman, and then AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland, and then the fifth member could possibly be Bryan Danielson, Darby Allin, or by a long shot, Kenny Omega. If it's not going to be one of those three men, I'm not really sure who it would be then. But that match is going to come up in about 2 weeks from now. That's going to be a pretty good match. I'm actually looking forward to seeing that match because the last two Blood and Guts matches I watched were pretty good. I would say about 2 years ago, I got into AEW just because WWE was utter crap. I mean, it was really bad. Like, I got to give this AEW a shot because I can't take much more of WWE. That's how bad it is. And while WWE has gotten better, I wouldn't say a lot better. It's gotten better in the past 2 years, but I mean, me personally, I still prefer AEW, but I keep up with WWE, but like, a lot of people act like WWE is the first coming of Christ. Like, calm down. It's wrestling. Like, I'm not claiming that AEW is the first coming of Christ. No. It's just what I personally prefer. But I'm not trying to push it on anybody personally. But I personally like it. Do I have anything else to talk about regarding AEW? There might have been something. Oh, yeah. I want to talk about one thing I actually hate right now about AEW. I will give you guys that. Oh God, here we go. It's cringing, making me even think about it, but here we go. Okay, as much crap as people give AEW, and as much as I enjoy AEW, there is one person with one gimmick that is so cringe, it's so bad, even though I enjoy AEW, it wants to make me turn the channel. That would be the Learning Tree Chris Jericho. Oh God, that gimmick, oh my gosh. And it's not Chris Jericho, no. Let me clarify. Chris Jericho is one of the greats of all time, but however, his current gimmick of the learning tree, Chris Jericho, I mean, it is god awful. Like, even if you don't want to watch, just like look it up on YouTube, right? I'm sure there are clips of the learning tree Chris Jericho. You'll see what I mean. Like, alright. So, let me explain. Chris Jericho, he is a delusional heel. The current gimmick, he is a delusional heel who thinks he's the good guy, and like he'll come out there just a waving and a grinning, saying hi guys, hi guys, hi guys, and then like when he gets done cutting a promo, bye guys, bye guys. Like, oh, it's not even good heel heat. Like, okay, another comparison I want to make is Christian Cage. He is a delusional heel as well, but Christian Cage as a delusional heel, he is actually entertaining. It is very good heel heat, not like heel heat like please go away and retire. No, Christian Cage, without a shadow of a doubt, he is doing some of his best heel work right now in his career, thanks to AEW. But however, Chris Jericho, he's got that heel heat of like, please go away, please retire already. It's enough. And those people that are chanting, please retire, Jericho, please retire, I agree with every single one of them. Please, Jericho, please step away, retire, take a break. Take an extended break. I mean, my God, like, Jericho has done much better heel work. His best heel work, in my opinion, Jericho, is when him and Shawn Michaels feuded in 2008. My God, I mean, that was spectacular heel heat. Where he, that one Monday Night Raw where he had the highlight reel, the Jericho's talk show, you know, I think it was called the highlight reel, but anyway, the night that he turned heel by grabbing Shawn Michaels, you know, he kneed him in the stomach, and then he grabbed Shawn Michaels' head and slammed his head through the Jeritron 2000. That was fantastic. And then later that year, when Shawn Michaels quote-unquote announced his retirement because of the eye injury that he got from his face being slammed into the TV by Chris Jericho, he was given his retirement speech, and his wife, I believe her name is Rebecca. Shawn Michaels' wife comes out there. Then Chris Jericho, like the prick he is, he comes out there and interrupts that retirement speech, and he goes to punch Shawn Michaels, but Shawn Michaels ducks out of the way. He absolutely nails his wife. And then the next night, it looks like Jericho had a little bit of regret on his face doing that, but the next night he comes out there and says that, no, I didn't have no regret punching her, I'm glad I did it. Like, oh, like, that's good heel heat, doing crap like that and saying stuff like that. But the way that the learning tree Chris Jericho, it's just bad. It's like, yeah, I agree with every one of those people. Like, yes, please go away, please retire, or at least take a extended break. You've done so much better. Even when Chris Jericho, in one of his later runs in WWE, whenever there was somebody that he didn't like, or somebody said something or did something he didn't like, he had this list, and he's like, you know what, you're on the list. Even that was significantly better than the learning tree right now. The learning tree is the absolute bottom pits of what Chris Jericho is doing, and I don't know what in the hell AEW is doing or what they're thinking. Who knows? My God, I know Chris Jericho and Samoa Joe are supposed to have a street fight, and I just hope Samoa Joe just beats the holy hell out of him. But who freaking knows? I don't know. That's the only thing about AEW that actually irritates me and makes me want to change the channel. Like, even if you're not kept up to date with AEW, just look it up. The Learning Tree, Chris Jericho on YouTube, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But I think that's all I wanted to discuss with AEW. I'm pretty sure. Yep, I think that's about it. Because I did want to share one example of what actually does bug me about AEW. That would be the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho. He's got these two followers. This one guy named Big Bill, and he calls him Redwood or Big Redwood or some crap like that. And then he's got this other follower named Keith Bryan, and he names him the Bad Apple, and he believes that all of the fans are a part of his branches on the Learning Tree. It's really bad. As much as I enjoy AEW, I cannot defend it. I can't. It's the worst thing that is happening on AEW. Oh, it's so bad. It is. Oh, it's irritating. It just. Oh, it makes me physically sick. That's how bad it is. You know what? No, there was one more thing I did want to discuss. Last week, Britt Baker, she comes out there and says that, she pretty much explains, why she was gone for about 10, 11 months. And she pretty much explains that she had a mini stroke in the time that she was gone. So I'm guessing she was supposed to come back a lot sooner. I guess she was supposed to come back a lot sooner. And, well, she had a mini stroke, and that, that's unfortunate, but it seems like she's doing good. She looks fine as she ever does. So, yeah. So she comes out there and says, I had a mini stroke, and that really scared me, and, I had to work harder to come back. And so she comes, after she gets, she says that I missed this, I missed all of you, talking about the fans and talking about the people in AEW she's worked with, like the commentators, all that stuff. And, then Mercedes Moné comes out there and interrupts, and they're calling each other BICTHs, and it was great. And there's definitely a match happening between Mercedes Moné and Britt Baker, and I don't have a problem with I personally don't have a problem with Britt Baker beating Mercedes Moné. And oh yeah, they were in Chicago, and this is interesting. As Mercedes Moné was talking to Britt Baker, she's like, what you do, Britt Baker, is irrelevant, but you want to talk about Forbidden Door? Let's talk about it. And the crowd is telling Mercedes Moné to shut the F up, and you can see Britt Baker, she's not full out laughing, but she is chuckling a little bit because of what she hears the fans saying and what Mercedes is saying. And she can't keep a straight face on, just hearing what the fan response is toward Mercedes Moné. Now, I don't know if it's like that nation worldwide, or if it was if they just happened to be in Chicago. I mean, it could be a little bit of both, and I could definitely see it. I like Mercedes Moné's wrestling abilities, but I actually wouldn't mind if Britt Baker defeated Mercedes Moné, and I believe that match is going to be happening at All In. And yeah, I don't think I have anything else. I know I said I didn't, but I remembered Britt Baker and Mercedes Moné had a pretty good promo back and forth. I mean, there's more to it than them calling each other BICTSEs, but it was pretty good. And I mean, I've already I've already spoken like a full book about AEW. So let me see how many raids. I guess I'll do one more, and then I think I'll call it. I think that sounds good. Yeah, I think that sounds good. So like I said, other than this video, my Gold Rush pulls, Batman Arkham Knight Part 7, and then the Legends of the Arena video that I might upload on Sunday or possibly Monday. I don't have much else. I would do a Blitz War video, but this weekend I just don't want to have to worry about doing that. Specifically because it is, specifically Sunday is my birthday, so I want to take it easy from uploading, and I'll definitely be back next week for sure. So, you guys ain't got to worry about that. So, yeah, that's all I got for you guys for today. I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by and for your continued support. Or if you're new, welcome in for the first time. All of you are very awesome, and I thank you again. And don't forget to hit the bell and switch on all notifications so you know the second I upload to YouTube. I am Buck Beak, and I'm gonna go fly away back to my nest. Until next time, bye guys.